Hi, my name is Gretchen Kother, and I'm here with Louise Hudson, and we're with the Lee County Federated Republican Women. And today we are continuing with our candidate interviews, and we have Chris Mathys here with us today. And so Chris, if you would just go ahead and give us a brief introduction of yourself.
Well, thank you so much for putting this together. My name is Chris Mathys. I'm running for the 2nd Congressional District, which covers all of Lee County. It covers pretty much everything from Albuquerque south. I am a conservative Republican. My background's pretty straightforward. I had the honor of serving in the Army. From there, graduated from college, been working ever since. I'm in the real estate lending business. I do have a local connection with Hobbs. I went to the University of Southwest and I got my MBA. And it was really nice going to school there. And tell you a little bit about my background. We do loans that bankers don't like to do. We're a secondary source. I am responsible for a payroll. I've been meeting a payroll for the last 30 years. I've never met or missed one, should I say, other than mine personally. And so I figured if we don't have the funds, it would be me that would have to suffer first. A couple things very important to me. Let me start out with my love for God, family, and country. We have a great country here in America, but we definitely need to put our citizens first. If you come to America, come with your work clothes on, come here legally, and come to become an American and pledge allegiance to our flag. We have a great country. Also very important to me, having served in the Army, is our Second Amendment. As Americans, we have a right to keep and bear arms, not only to protect our families, but to protect us from the tyranny that's associated with the government. Very important to me that that right is never infringed upon, and that as Americans, we are a free nation, and part of our freedom allows us to keep and bear arms.
Okay.
Also very important is my love for life. Life starts at conception. It's so important we protect our unborn children.
Okay.
And that's kind of me in a nutshell. There's a lot more, but I don't want to talk too much.
Okay, well, we want to ask you some questions so that our viewers can learn a little bit more about you. So first question would be, what would your policy be on border security?
To me, the border is our #1 issue. Right now, with what we're going through, we don't have enough resources. A big part of that is we have over 11 million illegal aliens living in America. That is wrong. We need a secure border, which includes the completion of the wall, which is under construction now, thanks to our president. Also very important is that if you are caught here in America illegally, you need to be deported. If you're a criminal illegal alien bringing in drugs to America, you need to serve a minimum 20-year prison term and then be deported. We have to be much firmer on immigration. We have to make sure that the people that come to America come here legally and come to work hard. I do support the president and his hard work. One thing he's done is if you want to seek asylum, you seek asylum not in America, somewhere else. And then in fact, if it's granted, then you come here legally. He's also demanded that the Mexican government protect our southern border, which they are doing now. All of these things have helped, and they have reduced the amount of illegal immigrants coming into America, but we have a lot more to do. Our current member of Congress has done absolutely nothing and will not recognize how serious the border problem is.
All right, thank you. Question number 2, what would your energy policy be for the future of our country?
It is so important that we are no longer dependent on foreign oil, for example, and foreign countries to meet our energy needs. We are blessed in the Permian and Delaware basins to have a tremendous reserve of gas and oil. We need to make sure that that reserve is exploited, or explored, should I say, and that we do not overregulate the men and women that are pretty much carrying the state. Fracking is an essential technology that is needed to be able to make it cost effective. Our governor is pushing to ban fracking on public lands. That's an absolute mistake. We need to continue to allow fracking and make sure that the regulations do not overburden our men and women, as I said, that are in the oil and gas business.
Okay.
The people that are in that business can count on me to be a friend and someone that will fight any unnecessary regulation on the federal level.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Question number 3 is the Affordable Health Care Act has not worked very effectively for most Americans. And how would you remedy this situation?
Well, first of all, I don't believe that the government has the right to force or mandate health care. I think it's so important that we retain the right as Americans to choose our own doctor and that we let the private sector meet our health needs. The worst possible thing that we can have is Obamacare, because what that does is it forces the taxpayers to take care of everyone. It's not a fair system. I know families, their premiums have gone up 60 to 70% in the last year or 2 years. Unacceptable. We need to make sure that our healthcare is competitive and that people that need healthcare are not forced to join a certain coverage or type of coverage, but they have their freedoms to pick the healthcare provider that they want. And it is not our job as Americans to take care of every single person and pay for their personal health care. People that work hard and pay their premium, they deserve to have the health care that they're looking for. It's very important to me. Finally, we need to bring the cost down of prescription drugs. It's crazy that someone with a medical need has to buy their drugs in other countries. My father's a prime example. He has advanced case of Parkinson, and he has to buy his medication because it's so expensive from Canada. Unacceptable. Why should foreign countries get their medication cheaper than we as Americans? It's got to change.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So the last question that we have for you is, what would your policy be on federal bailouts?
Personally, and keep in mind, I am a businessman. I've been self-employed 30 years. I understand payroll relief, and I support that. And I also understand making credit available to small businesses so they can stay open. However, what I do not support is large corporate bailouts. Prime example is the airlines. They've made record profits in the last few years to the point where they've actually bought their stock back. And now they're asking for federally funded, taxpayer paid corporate bailouts. I didn't support it back in 2008, and I don't support corporate bailouts now, because at the end of the day, the trillions of dollars that they're talking about are going to have to be paid back by the taxpayers, which is you and me, and that is simply unfair. And let me end it with this. Let us support our president and get America back to work. We need to get back to work. If we don't, our country is going to suffer economically. The sooner Americans are working, the better off we are.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Chris.
Well, thank you.
Meeting with us today and talking with us a little bit. We are so glad to have you here. We would like for you to, one more time, please tell your name and state what race you're running for so that everyone can hear that one more time.
Thank you very much. I'm Chris Mathys, running for the United States Congress. And I'll make it very simple. On June 2nd, you just need to remember 2 names, President Donald Trump and Chris Mathys. It would be a true honor to represent you. I love America, and I will always put American citizens first. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
much.
Appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time.